if the patient is willing, do you think traveling outside the immediate area for a trial is a good or more risky option? Ooh, that's a good question. So I think that I think so part of that depends on if we know that a trial is available, because certainly we wouldn't want a patient just to travel to a different institution outside where they live, to a different state, for example, only to find out that this trial is not available, or not even enrolling anymore. So any kind of homework or communication with another cancer center that can be made to kind of get a sense of that, I think will be really helpful. As a person who does clinical trials, who's really interested in clinical trials, obviously I think my opinion here is a little bit maybe more biased. I do think that clinical trials are something I would recommend if I feel that it's appropriate for a patient. But that comes with a lot of caveats with, is it financially feasible? Is it safe to do so? So, we certainly wouldn't want to take any patient who maybe needs more urgent therapy to go on a clinical trial, because we all know that it takes time to enroll a patient, to get all the scans that it requires, to check off all the labs. Clinical trials usually come with quite stringent enrollment criteria. So I think if a patient is sick from their cancer, I wouldn't say let's go travel out of the state to get on a clinical trial. I think the other,
Angel, is, I think it really depends on the trial, right?
Yeah.
And so if it's a trial that looks really promising, for a particular patient, I think really connecting with that institution and figuring out what are the requirements of the study. Is it practical or feasible for someone to be traveling from another geographic area? So it really depends on the patient circumstances, on the more details of the study, what's required of the study. I think in the era of COVID, there have been more studies that have been sort of, where we're trying to develop studies that will allow us to have patients participate, not who don't live in the immediate vicinity. I don't think we're quite there yet for a lot of our trials, but allowing for for consents to take place, virtually, for trying to get particular study-related activities done at a different institution, and transferring that data over. So there is a lot of interest in trying to do this, and I'm hoping that as we move forward that we will be able to allow more of this, because it is tricky, and logistically it's not practical for patients to just uproot their lives and move somewhere and live there for months at a time. And so hopefully we will be able to offer kind of more broad clinical trial participation, and make some of these eligibility criteria and some of the study requirements a little bit more feasible for patients who are not maybe living in that immediate vicinity.